Good afternoon. My name is Joseph Lloyd and I source cars for people on a professional basis, hence the name of my channel, Lloyd Vehicle Consulting. 4 years ago, I was asked to come up with a series of videos that were filmed inexpensively. We don't use digital cameras, we don't use fluid head tripods, we don't use shotgun microphones, we wear tatty shirts, we just use a phone. But we look at cars that you can buy for a budget up to £1,000 only, and we very much enjoy ourselves. These are cars that might be in cosmetically bad condition. You might see oil leaks, rattly dashboards and cosmetic imperfections, but we go all over the country and we find these very inexpensive cars that you all seem to enjoy watching. Oh viewers, sometimes I just get told about cars that I might want to review for the channel, and they're just so wonderfully typical of something like No Budget Reviews that I cannot refuse. And here we are, we're up in beautiful Derbyshire, and we have a first generation Citroen C4, which well, I mean, look at this. We've got peeling lacquer, we've got some interesting stickers, and we've got wheel trims and non-painted door handles, and hazard tape fixing the bumper. And wow, if this isn't No Budget Reviews, I don't know what is. It's been very kindly offered to me at quite short notice by Daryl, who hasn't had a chance to clean it. I just happened to be in the area where I was last year to film his Mark I Focus Gear Automatic Estate, which is a much nicer car than this. And I asked him if he was around, and he was, and he's bought this for doing, I think, some kind of delivery work or something in this, is what he does. And yeah, this is it. So, a life with technology, 4 adverts that these had, with dancing robots, and the first advert had that famous song by Les Riches Digital called Jack Your Body, which I remember from when I was at school. Actually, it came out, I think, that particular album in 1999. It shows how old I am. But various different adverts after that had different music, but that's the one I remember. It was the very first one. 320 litre boot, very standard for the time, about the same as, I don't know, Astra G came out in 2004. Then the Astra H came out a bit later, which is a little bit bigger. But we've got all kinds of things in here for doing various bits of work. This car has just had a new head gasket fitted here, so little sort of tools and things are what's necessary. We've got missing kind of plastic bits on the back, but we don't really care because this is No Budget Reviews. Got sort of 6 airbags in this actually, so it's quite a safe car for the time. And yeah, windy windows in the back, base model goodness. Rear headroom's not too bad. There was a coupe version of this as well, which actually was available with the most powerful engine in the lineup, which is the 2 litre with 180 horsepower. But this does not have that. The engine in this car actually develops less than half the power of the VTS, but it's okay. Actually, the trim's not too bad. We've got fabric here, and you've got stuff that feels a little bit squashy on here, but I don't know what it is yet. It's a bit squashy. Chrome door handles and big door pockets, and it's not too bad. Don't got a rear armrest or anything. Got no mat pockets because, of course, it's a base model, so you don't need them. Yeah, the headroom's actually all right. I thought it would be worse. Coupe, which is 3-door, probably would be worse, but we have not got one of those today. Ooh, that sounded a bit too, doesn't it, viewers? For some reason, I've never seen one of these that's rusty. Actually, I don't see many of these really at all. 307s, you see them, which are based on the same platform. They go rusty. C4 Picasso, those go rusty. These, not so much. We've got some electrical issues in this car. We've got you know, wear on this bolster, which is why Daryl's put a sort of a seat cushion in here. But he's done like 20,000 miles since June in this, doing his delivery work and things. So can't be that bad. Taking the fan off because there's no aircon. You can see suspiciously here there's a blank button where the air conditioning should be. There actually are 3 screens in here. There's one at the top for things like the speedometer, rev counter lives here, and then in the middle, which I'll show you in a second, is things like the trip computer and the stereo. We've got some adaptations in here for taking, you know, mobile phones and whatever. I've taken this off the dash so you can see the central screen. I must remember to plug the passenger seat belt in before I drive away, because that gives me a warning saying there's a passenger there who's not belted, even if there's nothing on the passenger seat. We can't open the glove box views because it's screwed shut, because that's broken too. Oh, I love the fact that I have French ancestry. And, you know, some of the cars that they made in the 2000s and things, yeah, not the best ideas. But we've got this very strange steering wheel. If I turn the car on and switch hands and things, I'll show you just how this goes around. It's actually going to be easier with the steering wheel ball that Daryl has, because he's actually got a physical disability, which means it's easier for him to use the steering wheel ball. And it actually will be easier for me to sort of turn while we're stationary, which I will do. Hopefully, I can manage this. So if we make sure we're in neutral, turn it on. Okay, all the screens light up. It's quite impressive, really, that sort of big central one, isn't it? Obviously, you don't need to move that from left to right-hand drive, but you need to move this. And if we turn this on, there we go. So, shouldn't do dry steering, really, viewers, but I will. So anyway, we can do it like this. As you can see, it's really easy with this steering wheel ball to show you. It just goes around like this. Look at that. Crazy. I think that's the middle. I can't really tell. I think that's about the middle. Yeah, so we've got readouts here for the miles per gallon, because we're not moving, it's not showing. 85,000 miles on there. It's probably going to go up quite a lot in the next week or so. Fuel gauge on the left, temperature gauge on the right, speedometer, mileometer, fuel range, things like that. It's just a bit disconcerting with it, but a different colour. That's very much like a C3 Picasso, actually, that display at the top. And that, I don't know, like a much older car. Massive door pockets, but quite a lot of them are not very big, like that one where the sort of cloth is. They're not that big. Do we have any in here? We've got a very small one for putting some extra gum in there. We've got tomato ketchup storage, which is supposed to be an ashtray. Another ashtray in there with some stuff in there, and another compartment there. No sunglasses compartment though, which is a bit of unusual. That was a biro holder. That's actually pretty good space to put a biro if you're going to places. Right, we'll turn that off. We don't want to waste fuel. There we go. Okay, what's the batting the bonnet release on the left-hand side, viewers? We'll find out. So here is the what's called the ET3 engine. It's actually a TU engine, just with a 16-valve cylinder head on it. In this case, they're playing about 88 horsepower. Cam belt has been done, as well as the head gasket. The head gasket was replaced last week, actually. TU engines aren't actually that bad, but they can blow head gaskets, particularly at this age. I mean, I think this is one of the last cars that used a TU engine, to be honest. I think the TU engines were phased up about 2010 in our market, in things like the Citroen C3 and the Peugeot 206, which lasted until 2009, and then this 1.4 continued all the way till the end of the production of the Mark 1 C4, which was also 2010. You can see the difference in kind of paint with lacquer and paint without lacquer, can't you, in this? Yeah, I mean, obviously it must be easy enough to work on. We've just done the head gasket in this. Done the cam belt as well. As you can see, it's just been done this month, so it can't be that bad to work on. There are engines though, viewers, in these that we don't talk about, and I'm not just talking about the heavy oil ones that the Mayor of London doesn't like. I'm talking about the Prince engine. They came in with a facelift in 2008, and yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to go for one of those. The EW engine, which is a 2 litre, the 1.4, 1.6 TUs, not the Prince engine. We won't mention those when we go out for a drive later. Right, viewers, off we go. I'll try my best not to keep knocking my hand on the steering wheel ball. So the basic engine of the C4 range was this EC3 unit with 88 horsepower. 0 to 60 is about 12.4 seconds. As far as I know, it's only available with a 5-speed manual, which actually in this car feels okay. It doesn't feel as bad as I've read that they feel. Obviously, you know, your mileage may vary. The other engine that we can discuss is a 1.6, also a TU engine, like this is, with 108 horsepower. That was replaced in 2008 with a facelift, with an engine we can't discuss because we don't talk about the Prince engine on this channel. Yes. Then above the 1.6 TU engine, there was actually a 2 litre. Now in the 5-door C4, it developed over 138, 143 brake horsepower, depending on the year and depending on whether you had a manual or automatic. And top of the range with the coupe was the VTS, that actually had 180 horsepower from its 2 litre engine. There are also some diesels available, but as usual, due to controversial government legislation and all kinds of other reasons, or we don't talk about diesels on this channel. What we do talk about is the fact that actually this car has a nice compliant suspension, the steering wheel that doesn't move, with the sort of sensors that move, everything else is a bit weird, but there we go. It's quite well behaved and quite comfortable. You know, it's quite nice in that respect. Brakes seem sort of good. I wish I had a leather steering wheel. Obviously this LX doesn't come with one, but if you bought an exclusive, and say the exclusive with a 2 litre engine might be, you know, the one that I would have personally. You might even get a 6-speed gearbox in that. But yeah, it's fine. It's nothing particularly dramatic. There's not really an awful lot to say. The TU engine sounds like a TU engine, although a lot quieter actually than most of the 8-valve ones I've driven. Yeah, that's right. It's not got hydroactive suspension or anything like that. It's just a normal platform with a big torsion bar at the back, and also just McPherson struts at the front. So it's not actually anything to write home about, but it's fine, you know. And really, actually, despite all the sort of high technology promises in this and the sort of weird dash layout, it just feels like a normal hatchback from the mid 2000s. You know, much like a a Ford Focus does. Although Ford Focuses are very nice to drive. I'm very grateful to have had a go at this. We've been offered this at quite last minute viewers. We like last minute reviews on this channel, don't we? Lloyd Vehicle Consulting stickers, t-shirts and mugs are available by clicking the link to the Google form in the video description below. Let's now look at some Mark I Citroen C4 trim levels, shall we, viewers? So there was the LX like this one, the SX, the SX Bioflex. That's just the SX though with a LPG conversion, the VTR, the VTR Plus, the Air Dream, the Cache. Does this car have Cache? You decide, viewers. The Cool. Yes, I have a Citroen C4 Cool. Does that mean I'm cool? Does that mean I'm not? And the exclusive. There was some other trim levels on the coupe, such as the VTS, the C4 by Loeb, I think, because the C4 World Rally car was quite something back in the day. So viewers, is the Citroen C4 Mark 1 alive with technology or dead on the side of the road with a blown head gasket? Well, it's actually better to drive than I thought it would be. It's fine. I've read a lot of contemporary reviews that said the gear change is a bit sloppy. To be honest, compared to a lot of cars I drive, it's absolutely fine. Obviously there are some issues with these. We've identified quite a few of them today in this video. This one, you know, picked up for, I think, £600, so we're well within no budget reviews territory. There's just not many of these around anyway, and they don't tend to rust as much as the 307s and the C4 Picasso for some reason, so that's good, I suppose. I've also noticed this car's got cruise control, despite having unpainted door handles, no air conditioning and wheel trims. We've actually got cruise control in here. Fascinating. Anyway, thank you ever so much indeed once again for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment below, and we shall see you again soon for more inexpensive motoring.